Nobody was ready for what happened next. You think you've seen it all when it comes to Dylan Wang, the charisma, the charm, the jaw-dropping moments that leave the internet absolutely paralyzed for days. But what unfolded on that stage recently? Nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for it. Not the fans, not the crowd, not even the people standing right next to him. Subscribe right now if you're new here, because this channel lives for moments exactly like this one. Let's set the scene. The energy in that venue was already electric. Thousands of fans packed in, phones raised, hearts racing, all there for one reason. And Dylan Wang, being Dylan Wang, walks out and immediately owns every single inch of that stage like he was born on it. The crowd goes absolutely wild, screaming, chanting, crying before he even opens his mouth. That's the kind of pull this man has. That's the kind of presence that makes people fly across countries just to be in the same room as him. But then something shifted. It wasn't dramatic at first. It wasn't some grand orchestrated moment with spotlights and swelling music. It was quiet, almost too quiet for a room that loud. And that's exactly what made it hit so differently. Dylan paused, mid-moment, and in front of thousands of witnesses, with cameras capturing every angle, with fans already trembling in the front row, he said it. He called Shen Yue's family. The crowd didn't just react. The crowd broke. We're talking full-on tears streaming down faces, people grabbing onto each other, strangers turning to strangers and losing it together like they'd known each other their whole lives. Because that's what this moment was. It wasn't just a celebrity saying something sweet into a microphone. It was something that felt deeply, almost painfully real. And in an industry where everything is curated, filtered, managed, and carefully calculated, real hits like a freight train. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about why this moment carries so much weight. Because if you're new here and you don't fully understand the Dylan Wang and Shen Yue story, you're genuinely missing one of the most talked about dynamics in the entire entertainment world right now. These two did not just co-star in a project and go their separate ways. Their story became something fans have been watching, dissecting, defending, and crying over for years. Every public appearance, every interview answer, every non-answer, every glance caught on camera, every moment where something went unsaid but everyone still understood it. Fans have tracked all of it. So when Dylan Wang, who is famously guarded, famously careful with his words, famously the type to deflect and redirect when questions get too personal, when that man stands on a stage and chooses that word, that specific word, family, you better believe the entire fandom felt it in their chest. Because family is not a casual word. Not the way he said it. Not in that moment. Not with that look on his face. The video started flooding every platform within minutes. Clips getting reposted, slowed down, zoomed in. Comment sections erupting in multiple languages. Fans who have been following this story since the very beginning completely unraveling in real time. The ones who always believed. The ones who never stopped showing up even during the quiet periods, even when the narrative got complicated, even when doubt started creeping in, they were in those comments losing their minds in the best possible way. Because this felt like validation. This felt like a reward for years of holding on. And the ones in that crowd, the ones who were actually there, physically present in that room when it happened, they will be talking about this moment for the rest of their lives. You could see it in their faces. Pure, unfiltered, completely overwhelming emotion. People who probably planned their whole trip around this event, saved up, took time off, traveled for hours, and they got this. They got a moment that no ticket price could ever fully account for. That's the kind of thing that turns a concert or an event into something you carry with you forever. What makes it even more fascinating is the timing. Dylan Wang does not do things by accident. Anyone who has followed his career closely knows that every word he puts out in public is considered. He is thoughtful. He is intentional. He is the kind of person who thinks 3 steps ahead before he speaks. So for him to choose that word, in that setting, with that audience at this specific point in time, that is not a slip. That is not something that just fell out of his mouth without him knowing what it would mean. He knew. He knew exactly what the fans would do with it. He knew exactly what it would feel like to the people in that room. And he said it anyway. Maybe even because of all that. Maybe this was his way of saying something he'd been holding for a long time, in the only way that felt right to him. Not in an interview, not in a press statement, but live in front of thousands of real people who have invested so much love into his story, who have been part of his story, whether he acknowledges it or not. And Shen Yue, let's not sidestep this, the mention of her name in this context, the way he connected her to that word in front of that crowd, that is its own entire conversation. Because their history is layered. The speculation alone has filled years of content across every fan platform you can name. People have made entire documentary-style edits of these two. Fan accounts dedicated solely to analyzing their interactions. Timeline threads that go back to the very first day they were ever photographed near each other. The fandom around this pairing is not casual. It is committed. It is passionate in a way that very few celebrity stories manage to sustain over a long period of time. And this moment just poured gasoline on all of it. There are fans right now who watched that clip and went completely silent. Not because they had nothing to say, but because they had too much. Because something they had been hoping for, quietly or loudly, in comment sections and group chats and late-night edit sessions, something that felt like it might always stay just out of reach, suddenly felt a lot closer. Suddenly felt real in a way it hadn't before. That's what Wang did on that stage. He didn't perform a song. He didn't deliver a scripted speech. He handed the crowd something unscripted, something vulnerable, something that will outlive the event itself by years. He gave them a memory. He gave them a moment that no algorithm can manufacture and no PR team could have predicted. And the tears in that crowd, they were not sadness. They were not grief. They were the specific kind of tears that only come when something you've been quietly carrying finally gets seen. When something you believed in, even when it felt irrational, even when others told you to let it go, turns around and looks you in the eye and says, "You were right to feel this." That is what happened in that crowd. And if you weren't there, you felt it through the screen. Because some moments don't need proximity. Some moments just travel. This was one of them.